Okay, so, imagine this. You're standing there on a launch pad, and you and your team have built this rocket.
Wow.
It's not, just any rocket. This is, high-powered, meticulously designed.
Right.
And the roar of the engine is about to, just drown out all the nervous whispers of your teammates.
Yeah.
And you're standing on this launch pad. It's at the Santa Margarita military camp in Portugal.
You're really setting the scene. It's like something out of a movie.
Yeah.
Except this is real. This is happening.
This is real life.
And these aren't, experienced engineers or anything. These are students.
Yeah, some barely old enough to vote, probably.
It's the European Rocketry Challenge, the EuRoC.
The EuRoC, yeah. And we've got all this material here, all these glimpses into this world, and we're diving deep, event docs, press releases, all of it.
Really paints a picture.
And it's so much more than just like, I don't know, some glorified model rocket launch. This is serious business.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And what really stuck out to me is how focused the competition is. It's not just about, getting the rocket to launch. It's about, as they say, cultivating the next generation of aerospace actors.
Yeah, I saw that phrase too, aerospace actors. What does that even mean? It sounds a little dramatic, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it sounds a little over the top at first, but when you really think about it, how complicated space exploration is and how quickly that whole industry is growing, it actually makes a lot of sense. It's not just about, bolting rockets together. They're building careers, like you said. It's the future of space technology. Right.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's a good point. And building on that idea of building, I did notice that they really emphasize STEM skills.
Mm-hmm.
All throughout everything. It's like front and center. They even call it a strategic pillar. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Science and all that, obviously important for rockets, but it just seems like they're putting a lot of emphasis on that.
It's more than just an idea, though. It's like the foundation of everything, right? It's like this. Think of it this way. STEM education, that's what provides like all the building blocks for doing anything new in aerospace.
Mm-hmm.
Problem solving, critical thinking, figuring out data, all that stuff. Whether you're designing a rocket or a new smartphone app or something.
So you're saying that even someone like me who can't tell a fuselage from a flux capacitor, even I could learn something from these rocket scientists.
Totally. Absolutely. What they're doing at EuRoC shows exactly how those skills, they can solve problems in the real world.
Mm.
And that's something we can all, use, regardless of what we do for a living, really.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about the rockets themselves, because those are pretty cool.
I was just thinking that. I'm glad you brought that up. Speaking of cool, the competition has all these different awards.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them surprised me. Like, there's one for Best Technical Report.
Really?
I thought this was about building rockets,
Yeah.
not, writing a novel.
Right, and that's what I think makes this so interesting. EuRoC gets it, you know what I mean?
Right.
They realize that just being good, technically, that's only part of it. They want these students, these teams, to be well-rounded.
So they're not just looking for, tech geniuses. They want people who can, explain themselves, work with others.
Exactly. It's all there in the awards, like best team effort. Because, rocket science is a team sport, just like, almost everything else in the real world.
Yeah, I guess a bunch of geniuses who can't communicate or agree on anything, that's not going to launch a lot of rockets.
Exactly.
But, okay, all this is interesting, but tell me, they at least get judged on how high those rockets go, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's an award for flight performance.
Right.
But even then, it's not just about, raw power. Judges are looking at, how stable it is in the air, how well it follows the planned path.
The trajectory, you mean, does it get where it's supposed to go, or does it, land in somebody's backyard?
Well, yeah, that's part of it. But it's really about precision, control. They even use this term apogee.
Apogee.
Yeah, it means the highest point the rocket gets to in the air.
Okay, so how high it goes, that's new vocabulary for me. I'm making a note.
Think of it like this. They're not just launching these things, they're trying to reach incredible heights. And measuring that, tracking something that's miles up, that's some serious engineering.
That is pretty impressive. But okay, so it's not all about just reaching for the stars, right? There's got to be more to it.
You got it. And this is where it gets even cooler, I think. Remember we were talking about the Payload Award?
Yeah.
Turns out these student projects, they're also judged on their potential impact, like what they could actually do in the real world.
Wait, so it's not all theoretical. They're thinking about how this stuff could actually be useful here on Earth.
Exactly. Which actually ties into this whole bigger trend in the space industry. It's called New Space.
New space. All right, now we're getting into some sci-fi stuff here. What's that?
So, you know how, Most people think space is just for governments, these big agencies.
Right. NASA, all that.
Exactly. But new space, it's like shaking things up,
Yeah.
making space accessible to, private companies, startups, even university teams like at EuRoC.
So it's like democratizing space. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. And, when that happens, you get all these new ideas, new ways of looking at things. It's not just about putting a satellite up there anymore. These payloads, the things they're designing, they're becoming much more, specific.
Yeah.
Like, imagine one that can monitor air quality right over a city.
Okay, yeah.
Or track, like, how much deforestation is happening in the Amazon,
Wow.
We could even see payloads that are, like, testing ways to grow food in space.
That's amazing. And to think it could be these EuRoC teams, these students, who end up leading this whole new space thing.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I love about it. This competition, it's not just about the rockets themselves. It's about, all that ingenuity and passion shaping the future of space, maybe even life here on Earth.
This has been really eye-opening, I gotta say. We've gone from rocket parts and designs all the way to the future of space exploration.
It's pretty amazing.
It is. And these students are making a real impact. So for our listeners out there, maybe someone who hasn't thought about this stuff since, I don't know, high school physics class, what would you say is like the main takeaway here?
That's a good question. I'd say the power of STEM, for sure, and how important it is to just encourage that kind of creative problem solving.
Yeah.
These students are proof that if you've got the passion and you're willing to put in the work, you can achieve some incredible things, even reach for the stars, literally.
Yeah. It's like they say, it's not rocket science. Well, actually, in this case, it is rocket science. But what I think it shows is that anyone can benefit from being a little more curious, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And who knows, maybe one of these teams is building the technology that'll take us to Mars someday. Now there's a thought. What would you send into space to solve a problem here on Earth? Something to think about. Anyway, that's all the time we have. For more on the EuRoC, check out the link in the show notes. Until next time, keep looking up.